California is a sanctuary state. What protection does that status offer the state's nearly 2 million undocumented people who could be targets of deportation?
Yeah, I think the biggest function, practical function of a sanctuary state is that it limits local law enforcement from helping federal law enforcement in enforcing immigration laws. So for example, here in San Diego, sheriff's deputies, any police department, if they stop you, they are not allowed to ask you for your immigration status. If you're detained, they are not allowed to turn around and tell Immigration and Customs Enforcement that they have you in their custody.
Describe who these undocumented people are, their jobs, their lives, their families, their contribution to the economy, and how might California and the rest of the country fare without them?
Here in San Diego County, there is an estimated between 150,000 and 170,000 undocumented people. And there's an extra 150,000 folks who live in mixed status households, right? That would be folks, undocumented parents and U.S. citizen children, or maybe a U.S. citizen spouse and their partner is undocumented, or even some families where one sibling will have status and the other one won't. If you take those two groups, undocumented people and mixed status people, it's almost the population of Chula Vista. So we're talking about a very big number. Now, how long have they been here? We do have some data showing that. Actually, about 60% of undocumented people in San Diego have been in the country 10 years or longer, and 1/3 have been in the country 20 years or longer. About 1 in 5 workers are in the service industry, right? 1 in 10 are in construction. And that tells you a little bit about the impact that policy like mass deportation would have, right? Here in San Diego, we just had news of a record year when it came to tourism, right? We made more money from tourism than any other time in San Diego. And we know that 20% of undocumented workers work in that industry. It would have a pretty big impact on that dynamic. Last question you asked was about economic contributions. I don't have numbers for San Diego County, but I do have statewide figures from 2023 showing that undocumented immigrants contributed $3.7 billion in local and state taxes.
Gustavo, you've spoken to some people who might find themselves on a plane back to where they came from. What are they and their families undergoing right now?
What, a lot of stress, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety, right? I talked to folks who heard from families who, the day after the election, kids didn't want to go to school. Folks didn't really want to go to work. There was just this feeling of depression, for lack of a better term. To be undocumented in this country already imposes a higher amount of stress and anxiety because of your lack of legal status and everything that's connected to it. Add the calls of mass deportation to that, and it just amplifies that stress already.
Gustavo, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you.